Good morning. My name is Christopher Merkel. I'm one of the owners at Ultrasound-Services, and this is Ultrasound Unplugged. Today, we're going to be spotlighting people and systems that make ultrasound services what it is. And today, I'm joined with one of our very own, Diana, who is our lead sonographer, and she's one of the best at what she does. And we're going to discuss what she brings to the technical table, heart and interaction with patients, and a little bit of everything. So, welcome, Diana.
Thank you. Very happy to be here.
So, what's a typical day in the like for you at Ultrasound Services?
Well, my typical day, I feel like I don't really have a typical day. Every day is very different. I normally go to 3 different locations, so it can be very different. First of all, just drive to my location, just, look at my schedule, making sure that all my patients have their correct orders. And just prep for my first patient, if it needs any preparation, for depending on the exam that I'm doing, perform the exam, write reports, send them over to the rats just to be read, and, just continue my day with, all my patients. So yeah, that's pretty much all I do all day, and I love it. It goes by pretty fast, honestly, because I feel like when you love what you do, it just goes by so fast.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. This next question, I think you just highlighted that. What do you think makes our patient experience different from other clinics?
Definitely, it's gonna be. I feel like we are very passionate at what we do. I feel like we take patient care very seriously. It's not just like, oh, another patient, another scan. We do a lot of monitoring, for patients, so we see them very often.
Right.
And I feel that they actually become kind of like family. We know their names, we know what their providers need. So I feel like that's what makes a big difference from another facilities, because also we get enough time for every exam, so we have the time to actually talk to the patient, ask them what if they have any questions, any concerns, because I feel like at the end of the day, you have to treat your patients as if it was one of your family members, as if it was your loved ones. So I feel like talking also to the patient is very important, besides the of course the exam, that the job that we do.
I think we hear students say that facilities that are larger than us have that issue when they're not allowed to say anything to patients. Mm-hmm. And so it seems like they may be a little cut off, a little less informed, but I mean, you probably hear that firsthand from patients that have been seen by us and have been to other places. So I would assume that probably makes a very big difference, especially when you're anxious or maybe worried.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we do have a big TV in the room. So as we go, we kind of explain the patient. We don't tell them what we see, of course, like if there's any pathology, but we do show them, like, as we go, like, what are we looking at? Right. I feel like they're very interested in that, and also it helps them to just be a little bit more relaxed, instead of being like, oh my gosh, what are they looking at? Or, I've had patients like staring at me whenever I don't have the TV on. So I feel like it does helps them to kind of relax a little bit and just, know, and seeing in life what we're doing,
This next question, believe it or not, it resides with me very recent. It says, do you remember a moment where just being kind made a difference? And this actually was you. You may not remember it, but I remember it because it was posted.
Yes. I was just thinking about her. Yes.
So tell me about that. Tell me what your thoughts are about that, because when I saw that it was posted, since you already know what I'm talking about, I was like, holy crap, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It is odd to get that kind of a post for that, so I'll let you kind of give me your thoughts on it as well.
Yeah, definitely I have many that I remember, but yes, her in particular, because it was very recent. So she came just to check on baby, making sure that there was a heartbeat, because mainly that's what they want to know. But she came, she was so excited, talking about, the baby and her other kids being very excited to have another sibling. So, we're just talking about it, and as soon as I put the probe on, I immediately noticed that there's no heartbeat. And of course, like I said, they're looking at the TV, so they're, they know. I don't feel like most of the time, I don't need to say anything because they know. So, she just looked at me and she was just like, there's no heartbeat, right? And, I just looked at her and I said, unfortunately, I do not see it. I said, but let me just zoom in. Let me just make sure. So I did everything that we normally do to, confirm. And yes, unfortunately, there was no heartbeat. So, after that, I was just talking to her. I feel like in those moments, there's nothing you can say or nothing you can do to make them feel better.
Right.
That's what we think. But, apparently it does make a difference. It does. And I realized now, like I said, and, I was talking to her and, a day later, I see that, she posted a review, which, like I said, it made me realize that talking to the patient and actually care for them and being kind, it makes a difference on their lives. Right. Even though she was going through a very difficult time, she took her precious time and go and give us a review. That, I feel like that's the last thing you think about.
That's exactly what I thought.
You think about when you're going
imagine.
through stuff like that. So, yeah.
It really meant a lot to see that, to know that our company is a part of that. And in some way, it's disheartening to say, be a part of that, but also at the same time, you cannot help but be a part of that. Mm-hmm. When you're doing a great job and you've got somebody that is like you, that is showing empathy and communicating effectively in times that are difficult, those times obviously still shine through. And so you don't see that very often. You don't see comments like that to situations like that, and it is rare to see that. And so it really makes you happy that you work with the people you work with, you're doing the jobs that you're doing, you're helping people the way it's meant to be done, rather than just herding people like cattle through a big box company. And so
definitely
it makes a difference. And so I don't know. It's been one of the most recent things that have stood out to me, but I guess it would stand out to more for you too because you're directly involved with it.
No, I do have a lot, and of course, like I said, not everybody goes and leaves you a review, and it's okay. But like I said, it makes you feel good, makes you feel like you're actually doing your job. And I'm not just talking about doing the ultrasound and that's it, you're done. Right. They actually remember you because you're the person who tells them the bad news. So they will always remember you as a person who delivered those news. So, yeah.
What would you describe the vibe at Ultrasound Services to be like?
Ooh, the vibe. I love the vibe. The vibe here is first of all, it's very cozy. I feel like I'm always at home. I feel like every patient that comes in there, the first thing they see, they're like, oh my God, this is such a cozy place, it feels like home. And I feel like that's the goal, because most patients, they want to go to a place that they don't feel like they're in a, medical office where they're like all nervous and stuff. So that helps a lot. And always positive. I don't think has been a single time where I come into ultrasound services and anybody's in a bad mood or something. We're always very, so very positive vibe here.
I would say low pressure.
Yeah, that also,
high
yes,
professionalism.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
That's what I would kind of describe it as, low pressure, high professionalism. I think everybody typically tends to come in, happy about life, happy to be working, happy to be doing what we're doing. But I'm kind of biased, so I would rather, ask everybody else that. But that's okay. Is there a scan that you'll never forget? Like, is there any one scan that you'll never forget? Or could you probably name like 2 or 3 or, tell us about that?
It's another hard one. And yes, I will never forget her either. It was also a fetal demise, but she was about 20 weeks. So the baby was definitely bigger. I remember she came in. It was at the Perla location. She came with her 4 kids. It was the old location, so I don't know if you remember. There was like the bed and like the couch on the side, and there was like the 4 kids just, very excited. They were like just talking about the baby. And same thing. I just put the probe. I immediately know, when it doesn't look good.
Right.
So anyway, I just told the mom, okay, I'm gonna just take some pictures. I try to make it as fast and efficient as I could, because you don't want to spend so much time there, especially because they're asking questions. They're like,
yeah.
oh, is the baby okay? Like, can we see the heartbeat and stuff? And of course, with all of her babies there. So I did all my measurements, document what I needed to document, for the radiologist. And after that, of course, I checked the heartbeat. She immediately knew, she knew too. So I asked her, like, okay, I'm going to have you go to the restroom and empty your bladder. And that was just, to get her out of the room and just let her know from me.
Right.
So, yeah, that was very hard because she immediately started crying. And, like I said, there's nothing you can say to make them feel better.
Right.
In those moments, especially, with her kids there. It was just very hard. I will never forget her.
Any fun ones?
Any fun ones?
Any fun ones that, like, where they yelled or scared you because they were so excited? Or, because I know in the office sometimes you hear, I'll hear, I'll know that the family has like 6 or 7 daughters, and then there's like a boy finally.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like screaming, oh, it's a boy.
Well, I had one recently too. She was here for her anatomy scan, and I always ask beforehand, like, do you know what you're having? Because sometimes they don't want to find out, or
Right.
And she said, yes, I'm having a girl, and I was like, oh, okay, great. She had a 5-year-old boy there, and the boy kept saying it's a boy, right? And the mom kept saying, no, honey, it's a girl, like you're having a sister, right? So anyway, I'm continue with my exam, and I saw boy parts, right? So I'm like, I said, what are you having again? And then when I said that, she looked at me, she's like, oh no, don't tell me I'm not having a girl. So I took a picture, I put it on the screen, and you can obviously see boy parts.
Right.
And she was just cracking up. And the little boy, the funny part is that he was like, I told you, Mom. I was like, wait, what? Me and the mom were just laughing about it.
Intuition.
Yes. He kept saying it was a boy.
He was super excited, I bet, too.
Very excited, yes. But when I asked the mom, what are you having? He said, it's a boy. And the mom was like, no, it's a girl, honey.
Right.
So that was very fun. It was, she was very happy regardless. So, and of course he was thrilled because he wanted a brother so bad. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, that finishes up our talk today. Let's thank Diana for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
Appreciate your time. Keep doing a good job, obviously. And
Thank you.
We want y'all to tune in on Spotify and YouTube and social medias for future and past posts. We also are on website, www.ultrasound-services.com. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to next week, and y'all have a wonderful day.